What is up? All right, live streaming today because I came across this cool library, React Virtual, that I wanted to try out. So I am using React Window right now in my Epic React course for performance. And I thought, it'd be kind of cool to take a look at this. I like hooks as like for this kind of thing better anyway. And so maybe this will suit my situation. And some feedback that I got on when I was giving this workshop, every time I gave this workshop on this particular exercise, was I kind of felt like I was just playing around with the library. So maybe using use virtual the use virtual hook will make it feel less like you're just playing around with a library API and more like you're actually implementing windowing. So that's what we're gonna give it a shot, and we'll see what happens with that. So without any further ado, let's look at the screen. Here we are. So React Virtual. I'll just move you over here so you can see that. Pretty nifty, very Tanner Lindsley type of package here. Big fan of Tanner. Awesome stuff that this person builds, and I think that you will like it. So he just barely released this, so we're kind of on the edge. I'm going to star that. I've already talked with him about my use case. There's one thing that he doesn't currently support, but he said the API just needs to be exposed. Like the data's already there. We just need to expose the API, and that's this thing to auto scroll. So we'll run into that probably. And he said he's working on it right now, so we may actually be able to get that. He may get that released before I even get to that part. So we'll see which one of us is faster. So let's go ahead and take a look. This is the exercise. This is the finished version, so it's super duper fast. Woo, look at that. Fancy smancy. But if you don't window this, then it will not be that fast. It is quite slow if you don't window it. So it's amazing. Isn't that so cool? I think that's awesome. There is a little bug right here where if you mouse over right in the right spot, I will auto scroll, and that will result in just a funny scroll situation. I probably won't worry about that though. I would if I were shipping this to production, but this is just demonstration purposes, and it shouldn't be a huge deal to fix, so maybe I will. Okay, anyway, so I've already got it installed, and I was looking at the example that he's got. We're importing use virtual, and then we get our row virtualizer from use virtual. So I'm just going to copy this, and actually before I do any of this, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this example, and we're going to start it from scratch without having to refactor it from React Window. So we'll just do all that. Did that copy not work? Hold on. Copy, paste. There we go. Okay, so now it's not virtualized. We're slicing it to just 100 items. Otherwise, that's weird. Am I looking at the right? Copy. What the devil? Okay, delete that. Copy and paste. Something weird is happening in Oz. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So, great. So now we just have 100 items, because if you try to render them all, here, and that's what we're going to do, items, then it takes forever. Watch. Whoop, there we go. And the highlighted index, I'm not even throttling. So how do you show the address bar and all that? That's Command-Shift-F. We'll toggle that. So when I'm doing my Epic React videos, when I'm recording those, I get rid of that because nobody needs to see the tabs or the URL bar. It's just a distraction, so I just ditch it. But it makes it hard to work with, so I don't ditch it. The other thing actually that's kind of a side is that eventually Chrome will update their UI for this. And if you can see it during my videos, then you'll be like, oh, this looks dated. You'll just feel that the content is dated just because you can see that the Chrome UI is different. But if you don't see that, then you won't get that feeling. And like whether or not it's dated is irrelevant. You just feel like it's irrelevant, or you feel like it's dated because the Chrome UI is old. So just get rid of all that garbage. Okay, cool. So let's bring in import use virtual from React virtual. Okay, use virtual. And then let's come over here. I'm going to copy that and we'll paste it right here. Okay, cool. And then we need a ref here, so let's do that. Parent ref equals React use ref. Okay, and then our size is going to be items length and estimate size. I don't know what that is. Estimate size. It's not used anywhere else in the code, so let's just find estimate size. Must be memoized. This function receives the index of each item and should return either a fixed size, okay. Nice. Okay, so this is the estimate size for each item, which is why it has to be a function. And that's something that I can document. So in my version, my final version of this, and actually maybe it would help if I look at that. We go to React Performance. Okay, wow, we've got somebody who's racist. Let's, can I hide user report? Can I block them? Harassment, hate speech. There we go. Okay. Wow. What a terrible thing. Put the user in timeout, hide user. There we go. The user's messages will be hidden. And now can I also get them, make them go away? There we go. Goodbye. What a terrible thing to do. I hope that person changes their ways and brings happiness to the world instead. Okay, so here we're going to go to our final version and 04. So this is the same file, just without the changes. And what I did before was I said list, here's my count, here's my size. And that's what I wanted, was the size. So we're going to say 20. And actually, you know what I noticed is that these are not quite 20. They're a little bit bigger. What the junk? Are you for real? Like, what is wrong with people these days? Could you stop? They probably have a lot more. Can I make one of you a moderator so that you can manage this, so I can keep on working? If this happens again, please anybody volunteer to be a moderator, and I'll make you a moderator so I don't have to deal with that. What a piece of sadness in this world. Okay, so yeah, we've got all these LIs, and their actual height is 18 pixels. Huh, that's interesting. I thought it was bigger. So we're gonna just stick with 20. Okay, so that's our estimated size. And overscan. I'm pretty sure I know what that is, but let's just double check. The amount of items to load both behind and ahead defaults to 1. And we are not horizontal, we are vertical. Okay. Okay, yeah. Mary, thank you for volunteering. I'm going to need your services. Because they're just ridiculous people in here. What is wrong with... What is this? Like, why do people do that? Okay, we're moving on. I mean, this is the... Here, Jamie, I'll make you a moderator as well. See, like, this is where I have to turn off my chat, or like I could alternatively just move to Zoom and invite only type stuff, and that just ruins the experience for everybody. So don't be one of those people. Like, do something more effective with your time that will actually bring you happiness. I don't know, seems like a pretty reasonable thing to do. Okay, great. Let's get windowing this thing. So we've taken care of the size. We've got our overscan of 5. I'm not gonna watch chat. Sorry, what a ridiculous thing. Okay, I just gotta stay focused. Hopefully you moderators can take care of those things if you want to keep the chat up and going. So row virtualizer, now with that, we have some style for the container. Okay, so this is actually great because the way that React virtualized work, here, let me show you. If we go to React performance and look at the final version of this, take a look at this. We've got our UL, which is something I control, and then we have 2 divs between that UL and these LIs. And I'm pretty sure that you shouldn't actually do that. And so I'm glad that I will now be in complete control over rendering thanks to this being a hook, because now I can assign these styles exactly where I think they should go rather than having those things in between me and the stuff I'm rendering. So this will hopefully end up being a really good change. Okay, so now I've got the virtualizer. I need to specify the height is the row virtualizer total size pixels. Okay, so then I can say, okay, so no, this is actually going to be interesting though, because I need to have a wrapper around it. So that can be the parent ref, and then that can have my style for what I already had the UL styled as. And here, let's come down here. That's going to be menu. Yeah, menu is just the UL. Okay, so I think what I may end up doing is adding to all of my exercises, adding a wrapper div, so we don't have to just add it to this one. But let's go ahead and get this one working, and then we can update all those. So we're going to put a wrapper div around this so that this thing can be the one that scrolls overflow Y rather than my UL. Okay, so sweet. So now I can say style, or here, let's add our ref as the parent ref, and then style is going to be height of 300 and width of 300 and overflow Y of scroll. And then here, instead of those things, we're going to just specify the height is the row virtualizer total size. Okay, sweet. And he sets it to pixels, but that's inferred on a number, so I don't need to worry about that. It's fine. Okay, sweet. So then, rather than taking our items and mapping over it, we're going to say row virtualizer dot items, and this is going to be our virtual row. And then we'll render a list item where the key is the virtual row index. We'll go with that, but I don't know if I want to do that. I may just grab that index value from to get the ID of the element. Yeah, we'll see what we're going to do with that key. To do, come back to this. And then we'll forward along all of the props that we need. Let's see. Oh, right, and this was just some stuff for his styling. And then the style. Interesting. I feel like it would be nice if he gave me a prop getter or prop collection for the virtual row. Here, I'm gonna ask him that here really quick. All right, just telling Tanner I should probably file this as an issue. Just told him, let me know if you want that as an issue instead. Do-do-do-do-do. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted here for just a second. Want to make sure I take care of some things. Okay, let me just check the chat here really quick before I hide it again. Yeah, just gonna hide some users, delete some things. So strange. Thank you for your help. This is the first time I've ever had this type of spam on a stream of mine. This is so weird. Let me know if you'd rather I just turn off the chat, but I'm not going to be watching the chat most of the time. Okay, great. So, yeah, we're going to need to forward those on. What we need is to specify a style. And so this list item is going to accept the styles. And then we will just spread the style right here. And actually, it, no, that's fine. That's good. It occurs to me that accepting the style right here is going to break the memoization right here, which is a shame, a real bummer. And what I normally would probably do is just, instead of making this a component, I would put this directly right in here. So maybe what I'll do instead, though, is, let's see. Yeah, this is our last example that uses this, and I think I'll just get rid of memoization. Because once we have this implemented, we actually don't need memoization anyway. So yeah, we'll ditch memoization, then we don't need to worry about that. Okay, sweet. So then, yeah, we're accepting the style, we forwarded it along, and then we'll say style is going to be position absolute, top 0, left 0, width. I don't think I need a width, but we'll see. Height is virtual row, dot size, and transform. Yeah, this is all implementation detail stuff. It's kind of low level. But you know what? Having them do this first is a good idea, because then they'll get a much better idea of what's going on here. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, good, good. Let's do width of 100%. There we go. And then we need a position relative somewhere. They're putting it right on the parent here, which makes sense. Wow, why did that VS Code thing? Yeah, okay. There we go. Sweet. Okay, so that's not good. I can't scroll it. And that's doing nothing useful also. I'm actually thinking that my get menu props is on the wrong thing and I need to put it right here, which makes things tricky because, okay, this is probably why React Virtual or React Window puts that div in between me and the UL. See, I need the menu props on the UL for accessibility reasons, I believe. Let me just double check that. Downshift JS. Get menu props. Okay. Menu ref. Menu node. Okay, that's scroll item. Oh, okay, yeah. So the menu needs to be, or the get menu props needs to be applied to the element that's scrollable. That is important. Now, does that necessarily mean that it has to be a UL? So let's see. That's the question. So role list box. So we've got our list box right here. Yeah, so get menu props. Okay, so it's for sure, I think this needs to be like this. And then we need to have div right here. Okay. Div between UL and LI. Dang it, this is a bummer. So, I mean, it technically works to make a div there, but just not sure if that is right. So the problem is that we assume that the menu is the thing that scrolls. What does that do? Yeah, that's what I thought. Here, we need to, oh, what did I just do? Let's stop slicing. Oh, no, we're not slicing. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, it's only rendering. Huh, that's weird. Well, okay, so yeah, but that's not gonna work. So you can't put a scroll on something that has that full height. The scroll has to be, I think, the parent. Yeah. But if that's the thing that scrolls, then this gets busted. Menu node. Right here. Scroll highlighted item into view. Yeah, see right here that we just need to add a feature to downshift here to say you can have a different element that's like your menu container thing. No. So wait, this is the thing that scrolls. Let's just look at this again. Okay, so the scrollable is the parent because it has a fixed height, and then the child is the one that has the. Oh, whoops! I'm looking at the wrong thing. Has that height? Okay. So this is correct, but downshift is busted. And I know what's going on. Pretty sure that yeah, it's saying, hey, get menu props, this UL, you need to scroll that thing into view. Here, let's delete that div. But it doesn't because the UL doesn't scroll. We need to scroll the parent. And right now there's no API for that from use virtual. So that's fine. Use virtual actually is quite nice. A couple of bits of feedback. I'm not a huge fan of having to do this. I'd love it if this style was provided to me by React Virtual. If I could just say virtual row dot style, that would be sweet. And then I could just override it, override the things that I care about. So that's one thing. We'll take a look at that key later. I want to get things working first. Outside of that, yeah, everything is fine. So let me just check my DMs. Whoa, there we go. So Tanner's going back, replying to me here. I'm just thinking about what he said. Wow, somebody has way too much time on their hands. With all of this spam. How ridiculous. Maybe I should turn off the chat here. Okay, so let me just check out any chat that I missed that or questions or anything. React Virtual. If you want to learn more about what React Virtual is for, you can read the README, or you can get Epic React Dev, and I'll teach you all about it. Ha! Why am I not using TypeScript? Mostly because my own insecurities with TypeScript. I'm not very good at it yet, and I'm not in a situation where using TypeScript will help me a ton with like my current situation with the types of projects that I work on. When I was at PayPal, I started using TypeScript and recommending it to teams, and I think that many of them still are using TypeScript and doing great with it, and I recommend it for that situation. But yeah. React Virtual. You can literally Google it. I don't know why you need a link. React Virtual. And we'll find it. Okay, maybe it is pretty new, so probably a little trickier. Sorry. So I'll grab it for you. There's a link. Probably best to turn off chat. Turn it off. All right, I'm going to turn off chat. Well, here, let me answer all these, then I'll turn it off. When do I use inline styles over regular CSS stuff? Yeah, so I use inline styles when I don't want to make a class for something. And in my actual apps, I use emotion with the CSS prop. So yeah, but for like little demos and stuff, it's just easier to do an inline style. And actually for stuff like this, where it's changing rapidly, like these values change a lot, I just will do inline styles for that for sure. Why don't you implement yourself with an intersection observer? I imagine that the builders of these libraries would have used an intersection observer if it worked. Yeah, I haven't tried it myself because these libraries are not hard to build or not easy to build. Yes, this library comes from Tanner Lindsley. Okay, here we go. And what do I think about Tailwind? I think it's awesome. Okay, sweet. So let me turn off chat now. Thank you so much, Mary and Jimmy, for your hard work and trying to get these bots gone. Yeah, I think it's probably just better if we turn off chat. So let me figure out how to do that. How do you turn off chat? I don't know. Settings. Live chat. Disabled. And I'm going to disable the replay too. So anybody who's watching this later and is like, what? We just had some terrible people. Not terrible people. People aren't terrible. People who are doing terrible things. And hopefully they find better things to do with their lives. And yeah, hopefully next time I don't have problems like this. That's just so disappointing. Okay, let me. Tanner is responding to me about some of my questions here, and then I'll get back to it. Okay. Okay. I'm willing to accept that. Thanks. So far, this is going well. My biggest hang up is with downshift. Okay. So I'm super bummed that downshift ends up being the issue here because I'm no longer the maintainer and I don't know if I have the patience to wait. But let's go ahead and let's yeah, what I'm gonna do is actually go into my node modules, downshift dist downshift.esm, I believe is the one we're using, and I'm gonna make this change menu node, and let's see here. Where's my scroll? Oh, there it is. Scroll into view. Okay, so rather than the menu node, we want it to scroll the scrollable node. So the API here, and I'm gonna switch from recording to live stream so I can get my tabs back. Okay, and let's back that up a little bit. Okay, so the API that I'd like, I think, is probably just another prop getter that says get scrollable no. See, because all it really needs to do is I just need to give it this ref. That's all it needs. And I lost downshift. So I need to do something like this dot scroll node or this dot menu node. Okay, so somehow I need to set this dot scroll node. I wonder if I say scroll node as a parent ref. It's probably not the best API, but let's just get it working first. There it is. Okay, so then okay, there we go. And then we can say this dot scroll node equals that scroll node. And let's save that. And let's see what happens. No, no dice. Huh, that's weird. Totally expected that to work. So let's go to our sources. I got everything all mixed up. Okay, so we've got our down shift scroll node. Okay, there we go. This dot scroll node is undefined. Oh, right, because this is going to be a ref, not a node. That makes sense. Wait a second. React does not recognize a scroll node prop on an element. Oh, I thought I took care of that. Huh. Isn't this gonna pluck off the scroll node so it's not scroll node? Well, that's interesting. This should absolutely be hitting right here. On every render. Weird. Okay, so let's go to 04.js. There we go. Get menu props. Okay. Dang, this will be really hard to make it dive into that. Aha. This is interesting. Stitch that. Where is this? Reveal in sidebar. Downshift. Yeah, okay. Var ref 5 equals temp 5. Get menu props. I'm confused. And let's find our scroll node. Isn't this inside get menu props? Do we have 2 get menu props in here? Prop getters, get menu props. Weird. Huh. Yeah, that's quite strange. It's in 2 places? It's literally in 2 places. What am I looking at? Okay, so we've got our utils right here. We've got our pick state. Yeah, I remember writing lots of this code. Yeah, that's our accessibility thing. Here are our event types, our state change types. And here's downshift itself. It's a class component. It's being compiled. Member properties. Boy, that internal set state, yikes, so much easier as a hook. I wonder if we can use the hook. I know that they've got a hook now. Let's find out. Use or hook. Where are the hook stocks? Probably could do the use combo box. Let's try this out in the browser. Yeah, let's try that. Oh, you just asked me a question. Let me respond here really quick. He calls it scroll to item. Yeah, that's good. Brian calls it scroll to item, but accepts an index. So scroll to index makes more sense. Okay, cool. So let's try the combo box and see what happens. Use combo box. So then we're gonna ditch downshift and get all of this stuff. And let's come over here, see how we use this thing. We've got our is open. We have our input, our item. Do we still have, yep, there's item props, label props, menu props. I'm guessing the input value is also highlighted index. Guessing selected item is also available. I wonder if set item count is still a thing. Set item count, nope, that's not a thing anymore. I wonder. Item count. I wonder if we don't need item count anymore. Yeah, look how flat that is. Just one level of indentation for all of this. It's really nice. Yeah, that's cool. Items refs. Maybe we won't run into the problem that item count thing exists for. Hopefully, just cross our fingers. Okay, so coming back here, we've got props. Yeah, pretty much. We got on change still. Nope. No longer is there an on change. Unselected item change. Yep, that's what we want now. And that's this thing. Okay. And then item to string, I'm guessing, is still a thing. Yep. Okay. And then do that. Apparently we don't need is open. What were we using is open for before? Oh, we weren't. Huh, that's interesting. Go back. Huh. Wonder why we didn't get a lit warning about that. Okay. I feel like the menu wants to know if it's open, right? Because we don't. Oh, no. I just assume we're always open. That's right. I don't care about the is open state. Okay. Cool. So. Oh, let's just try that. See what happens. Unpause. Play through. Yeah, set item counts not a function. Okay, well, it renders. So that's fun. Items. Oh, you have to pass items. Uh-oh. That's going to be a problem. I'm going to have to restructure the whole thing. Which isn't a huge deal. It's like, it's fine. It is bothersome for some use cases. Yeah, okay. Well, let's keep rolling with this. So what this would mean is I need to get the items sooner. Actually, I'm going to open that back up. Just get rid of all these. Okay. This is not safe, but, you know, what do you do? Yeah, we're still using the menu ref. So that's a fundamental issue that we'd need to deal with. And it was so fun to work on this. Kind of looking, I didn't, like, lots of this is duplicated from the class component that I wrote, so this, I didn't write this specifically, but I recognize so much of this stuff, and it's kind of fun. Yeah, it's pretty fun to look at this stuff. Yeah. Okay, so what I'll have to do, I think, is control the input value. But honestly, this isn't going to solve my problem anyway, because I need to have a scroll ref. Should scroll. Yeah, I remember doing stuff like that. Interesting. Scroll into view. Default. That's right, I forgot. This was overwritable. Scroll into view. So I could provide my own. And then when the highlighted index changes, I could scroll it using the API that Tanner gives me. Don't really want to do that though. Okay, well let's, man, kind of bummed about having to make this change. I really liked not having to pass the items here. Because what this means is I have to move, I have to control the input value so I have access to that state where I need it. And I need to move where I get my items to above the use combo box. This has like enormous implications on the rest of the, like the entire, or like, I don't know, three exercises with all their extra credits. So I just want to make sure that I'm making the right choice here. And it's kind of sad that I can't go over and look at the chat to see what people are saying. I wonder if the people who were being jerks in the chat are gone. I'm gonna just turn on the chat now and let's see what happens. If they come back, then I'll turn it back off. But it's just so lonely when I don't have chat. So I'll keep that open, and if I see people being mean, then I'll turn it off again, and we can all just pray for their souls. Okay, let's see. I mean, I want to use modern everything, and downshift as a render prop is old news. So what I think I need to do is file a new issue in downshift. Support scroll node for the element that is scrolled, rather than just assume it's the menu element. Okay. We'll just get rid of all that. I'm a terrible person getting rid of this. Hey, it's Tanner. Hi there, Tanner. So as you can see, most of my problems have been with downshift, and React Virtual has been awesome. Still bummer that I have to do this myself. Not a huge fan of that, but I understand your arguments against it, against providing that yourself. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do, or the problem that I've come up against, just to review it for everybody, is that I've got a menu right here, and I'm virtualizing all of this stuff. So this menu now has the height of all of the elements that should be in it. But now that what I had before was this was would scroll, so it had a fixed height of 100 or 300. But now I'm making it so that the parent is the thing that has the fixed height, and that is what scrolls, so that the menu can be like super duper long. Because actually, I wonder if I could implement this differently. Hang on. let me back things up. We'll get rid of that use combo box for now. And okay, so this should work, except it doesn't scroll. And if instead I kept this the way it was, what is React Virtual using the parent ref for? It's probably put this on here, ref, parent ref. We ditch this. Oh, actually I want those styles. I want all three of these things. And instead of putting the height to the total size, I just make it that 300 that it was. And then to make it the virtual height that I need, I could do a div that has height before and after. Spacer. Of course, it's not going to say spacer. That's interesting. Oh, right, because we were putting absolute on all of these. That's fine. Yeah, sweet. Yep, that parent ref will work just fine right here then. Okay, so then this. Oh, that's fascinating. Whoa. Huh. That's not behaving the way I would expect it to behave, even if I had it, even though it's not actually working right now. Yeah, it keeps on bumping me up. I think you need to have a middle div that's a hard-coded height from the virtualizer. I was thinking, well, maybe this will work. Height. Total size. Okay, so I am getting the right scroll bar height here. But what's interesting is it doesn't seem to be rendering the elements that it should be. My index. Oh, because my index is busted. That's the problem. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Sweet. Yes. Okay, mostly yes. Here's the, and this, my friend Tanner, is the reason that I need that feature I was talking about. So I can do a shift and scroll down, and that actually works out fine because it's jumping by 5s, and we have, oh, yeah, just lost it. We have something for reference, but if I go up to the top and then I go up 1, it should actually scroll me down to the bottom. So I need that API that you're implementing. Oh, I'm so pleased with this. So yeah, we don't need this spacer at the bottom. We can just do this thing, and that can just be our spacer. Oh, shoot. We'll make this an LI. What do I think about managing remote data with SWR in React? I actually think SWR is spectacular. Love it. But I actually love React Query even better. Love you, Tanner. Yeah, okay. So this is gonna work. Feeling pretty solid about this. Sweet. Okay, so I'm not gonna bother with that PR. I may still end up switching to use combo box here, but check my Twitter DMs. Twitter DMs. All right, sweet. I've got an update. Just update all the things. Oh, look at all those beautiful updates. Nice. Okay. And I don't trust npm to not mess up all of my node modules and everything. So I'm going to run flush npm. That deletes all the things, and then it runs install. I'll show you what that does. So it deletes node modules. Actually, oh no, this is now VZ. See flush. This should also delete package lock JSON. Because I just don't trust it to work properly. Okay. Ta-da! All right, sweet. So let's get that rebooted. And now I have. Do I need a different API for the scroll ref? I don't know. I don't know what the API is. So let me take a look at any docs you've got for this. Scroll to index. Scroll ref. I don't know what the what that is. I think you're fine. Okay, scroll to index or scroll to offset. Nice. That's fun. Okay, so we're gonna go to scroll to index. And that is something I get back here. And then oh, this is going to be tricky. I think I'm probably going to want to switch to the combo box hook, because I do need to know what all my items are for everything anyway. And dang it. Okay, but scroll to index. Oh wait, no, that's going to come back on the row virtualizer. Yeah, sweet. Okay, so yeah, so where I know that I need to make this change is in, well, I lost it. It was React Performance on GitHub. 04. Here we go. So I know I need to do that and handle state change. Let's just make sure this still has handle state. Nope. Handle event handlers, customizing handlers, default handlers. Wait, actually, we've got state change types on state change. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, it wouldn't be handle state change. It would be on state change. Very good. Okay, so then I, yeah, this is what I'm gonna have to do. I think I absolutely need to have the use combo box hook, and I'm gonna need to move all sorts of things around. So let's do that. This is probably gonna be better anyway. Just old dog. I didn't build this hook, so anyway, I'm gonna check out the chat here. Let me just make sure nobody's been being mean. Somebody just asked Tanner if what's next is a client-side state management library. I think he already did that. Well, depending on how you define it, but React Query, give it a look. It's awesome. All right, so now we've got on selected item change and item to string. I've got somebody crying upstairs. Let me just make sure my wife hasn't like messaged me or anything. That would be sad. Oh, I already read my scriptures this morning and said my prayers. Sweet, sweet. Delete that. Okay, we're good. Okay. And React already gives you a client-side state management library. I agree. Tanner and I, we're on the same wavelength here. Okay, then I'm going to grab all this and stick it in there. And then, let's see, we can ditch everything else. Just grab this. Stick it all right here. And then isOpen can go away. And then I need to specify my items, which means I need to control the input value. Set input value. And we're going to initialize that to this. Control props. Here we go. And we can ditch that because we're going to be controlling it. Input value. On input value change. It's going to be new value. Set input value. Oh, whoops, not interval. Input value to the new value. Okay, sweet. So now that I'm controlling the value there, I'm going to take all this stuff and move it right here. And the role virtualizer can come below. I think I'm going to need it to be below. We no longer need to worry about set item count. And ditch that there too. And then okay, sweet. It's nice that so far our chat has been positive. Okay. So yeah, very good. So we're doing okay there. And then row virtualizer, actually we're going to need it to be above because I'm going to have an on state change. Changes. This is going to have a highlighted. Actually, here, let's just look at what I was doing here. It's this thing. And this is going to be row virtualizer dot scroll to index. Highlighted index. Sweet. We don't get that anymore. Just need to see, normally I think I'd probably just put this all together. That's what I'm going to do. And then we'll take it apart because I wanted to make sure that I could show you memoizing, and we'll get back to that. We'll do that after I have all this put together. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to fix this key right now. I know that this is going to be items at that virtual row index. And instead of this accepting all the items, I'm just going to have it accept the item. Oh, this will be ID. There we go. Okay, that should do it, right? Yeah, we don't need items. Okay, that didn't get auto-formatted. I've got to, oh, this right here. Ditch that. Okay. So this is us, oh, whoops. This is us controlling the input value. This is us handling select item change. This is item to string on state change to keep our, yeah, I think this will work a lot better actually. Assuming that it works, of course. So we come over here. Whoa. Okay, so Tanner, I've got some feedback on your scroll to index. I've experienced this myself. So what you do by default is you scroll it to the top. That's not what I want. What I want is what downshift does. Let me show you. I'll give you a link. It is in the utils, and it is compute scroll into view, which is actually just a polyfill for something that is built into browsers, I believe. Oh, maybe it's not a polyfill. Yeah, scroll into view if needed is what it used to be called. Yeah, I guess they changed it. I think it is, yeah. Lower level API that's used to ponyfill the scroll into view if needed to compute where blah, 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 blah. So if you want, what we do in downshift is this is our default, and then we can provide an override, or the user can provide an override. You can do that same thing, or probably at least default to this same thing. So here, I'll give you what we do right here. And you can use that for yours, but that's definitely what I need. Is I need it to scroll that into view. Tanner, don't miss this. Did you hear my last comment? Okay, but overall, I'm way happier with what we've got as far as the way the code looks. Now I just got to figure out how to make it so I can still teach the things I want to teach with what we've got here. So let me just turn this off here really quick, and we'll see. We've got This still scrolls beautifully, and I can actually change. Let's do that overscan of 10. See that scroll. You notice if I scroll really fast that you don't see those things get rendered. If I overscan by 20, And that doesn't happen as much. Well, I guess it still happens. What if I overscan by 100? I think all that I'm seeing at this point is the browser's rendering of that. Yeah, okay. But we're going to overscan by 5. Nobody scrolls that fast. And if they do, they don't really care if things take a second to render. Okay, sweet. So let's take a look at the profiler here really quick. Look at all those updates that we made. It's madness in here. We're not memoizing anything though, so yeah, and it's fine. It's going pretty quick. If we go, like the thing is with performance, you never want to measure or just assume that if something is slow during development that it will be slow in production, because React is very fast in production. And so yeah, you want to scroll index into view. Oh, scroll index into view. Oh, maybe that doesn't exist yet. Yeah. Yeah, and that's not supported yet. Okay, cool. But that will be supported eventually. Very good. Yeah, because what I've got here is it'll just keep scrolling as I move my mouse. And downshift is like, oh, this one should be highlighted. So React Window's like, oh, okay, let me scroll that into view. Or scroll to that index, and then boom, it scrolls to the very top. All right. So let's see here. Oh man, this is a bummer. I'm gonna have to rework a bunch of things. I wonder if I can just ignore this. You know what? Let's just ignore that one. We know it's gonna be 20. No, just trying to think of how I can simplify this, or well, let's make that menu component again. Got more crying going on upstairs. So this is where I'm like, maybe I should go check and see if I can help. Okay, and then let's see. So we have the parent ref. Maybe instead of parent ref, this will be menu ref. Or list ref. There we go. That's what we'll call it. And then have the total size, the virtual rows. So we need the items, highlighted item or index, selected item, get item, props. Put that up with that one. Something like that. Okay. Brooke needs my help. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Whew. Let's take a look at how many people are still watching. Yeah, that always happens when I have to leave for a while. People just turn it off, and then they miss out all the fun stuff when I come back. All right, so I don't blame them. All right, so we were just moving some things around so we can have this menu component again. We've got our row virtualizer, or these, I'm going to call this, yeah, so we're going to have our total size. Maybe we could call that our spacer, or I don't know. Yeah, total size is fine. And then we can have the item, the virtual rows is what I want to call that. I kind of wish that Tanner had called that virtual rows rather than items. That doesn't make any sense to call it virtual rows. Maybe I can get him to rename it. Rename items to virtual rows. What I am rendering, I call items. What you have given me is a virtual row. And actually, I don't know if I like it being a virtual row. So let's see what's on this again. Items. An item is a thing, an object that has an index, start, size. Yeah, okay, virtual row. That's fine. So virtual row virtualizer dot virtual rows seems to make more sense to me. Okay. But in any case, we're going to call this virtual rows. And all that I need from the parent is the total size. So the menu height, or yeah, total height, and the virtual rows. Okay, there we go. And we'll put that in my clipboard. And then this is the total, oops, get that in my clipboard too, total height. Okay, so then down here on this menu, put total height and the virtual rows, row virtualizer dot items. Okay, and then we'll have our get here. Actually, I'll just copy all this junk here, paste it right there. Okay, and this is going to be our parent ref, but I'm going to rename it from parent ref to list or item or list ref. There we go. Sweet, save that. And it does still work. I'm a little bit concerned about that initial render though. It seems to take a second, so let's see what that's. Oh, I know what that initial render is all about. It is getting these items. Yep, that's what it is. I wonder if would be better off to add is open here. Whoa. Invalid target. Oh, because I scrolled and then something weird happened. But that hopefully should go away once we have this. Yeah, I'm going to just disable that for now. To do, use the upcoming scroll index into view API. So then I go down. Nope, still busted. That's interesting. Wouldn't expect that to happen just because I... Oh, that's... Whoa. Yeah, that's weird. Let's huh. Did I have that before I made all these changes? Here, let's get rid of the is open stuff here really quick. So that's all working fine. Weird. Okay, so I'm going to copy all this, and we'll undo until I get rid of that menu. And see if adding that menu in there caused the problem. Save that. Nope. Looks like that was always a problem. If I comment this out. Wow, what is going on? Go down one, and it just scrolls too much. This must be a bug in use combo box, I guess. What if I'm not virtualizing this? What the? Okay, so if I just ignore row virtualizer and instead we do, okay, here I'm gonna final good version, but has the bug. And then this is the before moving it to menu has the bug. Okay. So then if I get rid of the virtualization, and just say items.map, this is going to be an item. Does the list item even need an index? Index. Yeah, I guess it does. Oh my goodness. Item index. And then get rid of this style nonsense. This will take forever to render because we're rendering a ton of stuff. But let's go ahead and okay. Does not appear to be a bug with the combo box. This is just a bug with combining the combo box with virtualization. Okay, so I think I might know what's going on here. Nope. I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea. Why does it do that when I click away? Also, you selected selection. And this, I'm confused by that. So this is now not the selection, but changes selected item is what I want. There we go. Nice. Okay. So then, if I move this into a menu, I'll make our menu. We're going to need get menu, props, get item, props, items, highlighted, index, selected item, and yeah, that's it. Ends up being quite a bit simpler, sort of. Yeah, all this stuff. Why when I click out, that is weird. Okay, so then I blur. Huh, yeah, that's interesting. That definitely seems like a bug. Where's downshift here? Combo box. Okay. Blur. Oh, good. Okay, so what's happening is come down here and I blur and it selects the highlighted item. Definitely not desired behavior. So this is going to be in our reducer, which is okay. Don't judge me, just looking. Just kind of curious. I wonder if we might be better off using this one instead. I know this would be like a super duper sad thing to not use my own package, but I'm starting to get a little bit on the desperate side. I just want to get something that works nicely. So we're going to npm install reach combo box. And let's just try this. Import from reach combo box and reach combo box styles CSS. And we'll grab all of these things. Here, I guess I could have copy pasted that from the start. So then, rather than all this nonsense, we'd say we're going to render a div that contains all of our stuff. Find a city. Yeah, it would be labeled by label or find city label. And we will take this logic right here. And instead of a list item, we render a combo box option. And we provide a value that is item. And this on change will be new input, set input value to the new input. Nope, that's going to be an event actually. Match sorter, booyah. So what if I want the value to be a non-string? Okay, so I guess the value has to be a string. So for me, that would mean I'd need it to be the ID. And then I can make children. That could be item.name or item to string, yeah, which is what that item to .name is. Okay. We'll get to this stuff later. Let's just ditch all that. Let's just see what that does for us. Yeah, but that's the problem, is I could have multiples of these with the same name. You didn't think about that, did you, Ryan? Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Yep, that's not going to work. Combo box option. So custom rendering in the combo box option, but how do I take that item and serialize it to a string value? I'm just pretty sure that's not going to be a possible thing for me to do. So I have mixed feelings about this. The mixed feeling is I'm kind of bummed because because I don't want to deal with some of the issues that I had before, but makes me feel a little bit good that downshift has still got it. We're still doing good. Okay, so let's undo all this. Get rid of that. And npm uninstall reach combo box, because that's not going to happen. Okay. So now we're back to using downshift with use combo box combined with use virtual. And the problem is super weird. So let's go ahead. I'm going to bring in the final. We're going to bring this back. So here, actually, this is without virtual. Okay, and then we're going to put this back here. Now we've got virtualization. And then there's just something super weird that happens right around here, where it starts scrolling too much. I don't know what that problem is, whether it's in downshift or React Virtual. It's maybe in both. And oh yeah, and this blur thing. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to figure out why that's happening. So let's see if I can get into that. Use combo box. Yep, here we are. navigation. Here, let's come back down here and we'll fix this thing. Okay. So we have the item mouse move. Input blur. Let's start that over. Okay, so I'm in here. I go down to 1 and I tab out and it selects. And that was this right here. Circular navigation, what is that? Okay, let's find out. Input blur right here. Yeah, right there, that's the bug. Yep, okay, well, I can report that. And actually, I bet if I go to the code sandbox, I can reproduce the same behavior. Yep, there it is. I wonder if that's intentional behavior. Maybe it is. I guess I could just open an issue and they can say whether it is or not. Use combo box is selecting the highlighted item even on input blur. Latest, those are irrelevant. JavaScript. Arrow. Focus input. Arrow down. So here, let's refresh this thing. Focus input, arrow down, tab. Tab. Blur input. Wonder if that happens. Arrow down and then click out. Yep. Or blur input any other way. The highlighted item gets automatically selected. I don't think this is the way most people would expect this to work, but so I thought I'd bring this up. Where's the, there it is. Here's the code currently. I think the best way to change that would be Okay, so it would be yep. And honestly, this should probably just be like that. And yeah, if there's this, well, yeah, it should just be that as well. All right, there we go. That's what I think it should do. Luckily for me, Downshift has a state reducer, so I can make this work even if they decide to not go with that. State reducer. Okay, so state reducer. Okay, and this is going to get our state and action and changes. Type changes. And we'll say if the type is use combo box dot state change types dot input blur, then it will return all the changes except I want the highlighted index to be -1 and the selected item to be the state selected item. I think that was all. And the input value should be oh, thanks, Raul. Okay, so I need my input value to be that selected item. Okay, I'm going to need to move this into here, actually, as it turns out. Because I want to use the item to string. I guess we can move this all up. That's fine. There we go. Kaboom. Oh, right. Otherwise, return the changes. Sweet. So I go on here, and then tab away, and boom. I love the state reducer. So much power. It's awesome. Yep. And I'm thinking I may actually hide some of this stuff for the combo box. I may hide it away into my own thing, so it's not so complicated for everybody else. Yeah. Do you have some deep dive course on React hooks I can purchase? Aw, that's nice of you. I have some intro stuff that you'll probably really like. That's totally free, and there's a link to it. The Beginner's Guide to React. And upcoming, I have some very deep dive stuff. That's actually what I'm working on right now. That's Epic React Dev. So what you're looking at is an exercise for one of the workshops that will be on Epic React Dev very soon. So look forward to that. Okay, so I've fixed that problem. Oh, I want to get rid of that log point. Remove all breakpoints. All right, there we go. So now I got to deal with this. What the weirdness is going on here? So scroll into view. Here, I'll just put it right there. Okay, hold on. Let's deactivate that. Let me find out when this becomes a problem at the very first. Turpin Hills. Okay, and then log off. So we'll have it be right there. So if node.textContent includes lug, then we'll break right there. Yeah, okay. I want to open this up. Node modules, downshift, dist, ESM, item, refs. Okay, so let's figure out how this item refs thing is getting set. It's probably in get item props right here. So on every render we clear it out and then we set it. Interesting. So it's going to scroll it right now it's at 160 and it's going to scroll to 200, which is twice as much as it should be scrolled. So how did it determine that it needed to scroll that node there? Oops. Oh, boo. See, that's weird. Like, I should have node in scope, but it don't somehow. Interesting. I think this is interesting. So the highlighted index is 23. Item refs 23 is logoff, but then that's not the one that shows it's highlighted. Oh, I know what's going on. So as we remove items from the top, we have all of our items that I'm passing to downshift, but I should just be passing, okay, sorry, let me just, can't explain it. Row virtualizer, I should be passing items from row virtualizer. And then row virtualizer has, each one of these items has the index, and that's how I know. So when there's something selected, items at the index. No. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, right, because we're calling. let's go back. I think I know what's causing the problem. I just got to figure out how to fix it. So we're calling get item props. Item refs, highlighted index. How did this work with downshift as a render prop? That's what I want to know. And now, oh, yeah, see, this is different because yeah, this worked out okay before because we had we queried by the item ID. Let's see, which would be here, let me just double check. See, there it is. We didn't care about the index of how many items we had in our let's see. See what downshift use combo box is doing is it's saying, here I've got 20 items, so let me get index 91 because that's the highlighted index, or whatever this one is, index 102 or something. I'm gonna get index 107 from these item refs. But what we really need to do is get the item ref that has, we need to store these item refs by the ID, not as an array. I think that's what we need to do. They need to be put into an object. These should have IDs on them. Yep, they do. So item ID, I'll just define that up here. And then if current instead of push, we say at the item ID, And get item node from index would be element ID is current. Get item ID, what is that? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just the reference to the function. That's fine. Okay. This should be an object. I think this will work. Let's just make sure that it's got my code. Yeah, I don't think it has my code. I think I may need to restart. There it is. Okay, so it is my code. Ta-da! I fixed it. Okay, sweet. This is good. I busted something. Yeah, what was that? I think I was just moving too fast for React virtual. If we overscan to 10, that should probably not happen. No. Dang it. Okay, so it's been a fun time, folks, but I've decided that as cool as this stuff is, I do not have the bandwidth to fix these bugs or wait for them to be fixed. I'm going to make a note. Use combo box does not work very well with virtualization. And let's see if I can at least get this into a code sandbox for people to use and play with. Code sandbox. and hand that off and just say, I'm sorry I don't have any more bandwidth to work on this. Good luck. Downshift. Oh, shoot. Dang it. I do this sometimes. Fork. There we go. And oh, I think work rights loader, good. And then I need filter cities. And then the last thing is US cities. So let's open this in Finder because it's a really big file. I'm going to just drag and drop it to right there. I mean, it's supposed to be that perfect and easy, but apparently it's not. So okay. And then I've got my utils as well. My goodness. Man, all right, fine. So you can't do that. So instead of the workerize nonsense, we're going to do filter cities, get items, get rid of all that. And we no longer need this. And in fact, don't need that force render thing either. So let's just simplify this. Okay, and just make sure this actually has the same bug here. There it is. It's a big mess. We can ditch that dependency and that one. And okay, cool. So then we'll copy this into this issue. And you know, I think we can make this even easier or more straightforward. Yeah, we don't need that. That doesn't need to be a thing for this. We can make items be yeah, well, we'll just take this UL and inline it so we don't have the menu. And let's just ditch all this stuff. And let's take it a step further. And I just want to give them a really good issue because I'm not going to be helping. Okay. And still got the problem. No, we don't. There aren't enough items. Okay. So if we make this have a height of 100, yep, there we go. And let's have this overscan. Oh my goodness, that drives me crazy. Overscan of 5. Then we'll run into it sooner. There we go. Okay, cool. So we're making this simpler, easier to follow. We're no longer using utils either, or filter cities. And no reason to use a memo here. Okay, that should be pretty darn easy. Open up this. Notice that if you focus the input and arrow down enough times, eventually the scrolling gets wacko. I don't have a lot of time to explain, but hopefully the example helps you identify the issue. The solution is to not reference the item, or is to not reference the node by its, or is to not get the node by the highlighted index alone, but by a unique identifier for the item. So change this. Where's my use? Do item refs. Item refs dot current. Oh. To this. So first, change item refs current equals to item refs current. Then change this to this, and then update everywhere that references the item refs current to retrieve the item node via the ID rather than the index. This fixes the bug for me. Unfortunately, I have to move on and can't on this myself right now, but hopefully that helps get anyone on the right track. Thanks and good luck. Oh, there was something else. Wasn't there something else? Oh, nope, that's it. Okay. Okay, there we go. Moving on. So, sorry, Tanner, my friend. Oh, shoot. I've got to go, actually. I've got a call right now. So, thanks. Thanks for playing. We'll see y'all later. Bye.